Live from the Grenadian capital, this is the GBN television news. GBN covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd. The news headlines comes to you compliments Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
This is Network News for Friday, March 14, 2025. Talk about that one. In the headlines, Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell wants all outstanding constituency allowances and is willing to take the fight to the court. Dr. Keith Mitchell to present his response to the 2025 budget on Monday in a session described as the People's Parliament. A businessman who's a former senator analyzes government's fiscal plans and priorities for the year ahead. Also in the news, regionally, mental health in the Caribbean reported to be at critical levels. Internationally, environmental protections in the U.S. being rolled back. Plus, in the sports news, Ariza national champs to run off from 10 a.m. on Saturday, while GCA NLA T20 to bowl off tomorrow with 6 matches across the island. Good evening, I'm Kenroy Baptiste. We are reporting today's news.
The first segment of the news comes to you compliments Soft Weave Bathroom Tissue.
Have you heard about the new Soft Weave bathroom tissue with total hygiene? As hygiene and safety have taken center stage, our bathroom tissue is now manufactured with 3 different technologies to offer the best protection for you and your family. UVC light technology for a safe and effective disinfection process, eliminating 99.9% of microorganisms. Also, production at high temperatures, killing all types of germs and bacteria. And it's pH controlled with delicate fibers to prevent irritation for even sensitive skin. Soft Weave Total Hygiene Bathroom Tissue, available in supermarkets and shops island-wide. Visit Soft Weave Caribbean Facebook or Instagram pages for more information.
Thanks for joining us. Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell wants all outstanding constituency allowances owed to him. Members of the House of Representatives receive $10,000 monthly as a special contingency constituency allowance for constituency expenditure, as approved in the 2024 budget statement. However, Prime Minister Mitchell said he is yet to receive the allocation. Cherry and Blackman Stephen has this report.
Since my name is Susu, in my capacity as a member of parliament, if I have to sue the executive to get me $10,000, I will sue the executive on behalf of the members of St. David. And time is money, so I hope there's an interest component of it.
Prime Minister and Parliamentary Representative for St. David, Deacon Mitchell, said he is willing to take legal action against Grenada's Parliament over failure to receive a $10,000 allowance as Parliamentary Representative for St. David. The $10,000 is paid by Parliament and lodged in a constituency account at a local bank, requiring the relevant MP and the staff of the office to be the 2 signatories on the checkbook to establish bank accounts if they have not already done so. Expenditure reports are also required to ensure compliance with the financial rules of utilizing state funds. The non-payment of his constituency allowance was one of the gripes raised by the Prime Minister during the 2025 budget debate.
That I may invite the residents and the constituents of St. David's to come down to the Parliament building and to protest on their behalf, because as the Prime Minister and a member of Parliament for St. David's, I'm yet to be paid this much talked about $10,000 constituency allowance. And it's not a laughing matter, Mr. Speaker.
PM Mitchell did not mince words as he closed off his contribution to the debate. He outlined his plans to ensure he collects his allowance to assist his constituents, and he wants it all with interest.
When the executive passed into law at last budget that a $10,000 constituency allowance should be given to an MP. Mr. Speaker, I don't need to open a bank account to get the $10,000. Whether it's $10,000 in cash, whether it's $10,000 in check, you need to give me the money so that I can represent and help support the people of St. David's. And I can account for the money, whether it's cash, whether it's check, because the same thing everybody else have to do. If I spend it, I get a receipt for it.
Mitchell said the support to his constituents comes from the generosity of the private sector, international partners, individuals in the constituency, people in the diaspora, and his personal salary as Prime Minister. GBN contacted Parliament to get a response to the Prime Minister's allowance claims and is awaiting a response. Cherry and Blackman Stephen, GBN News.
Dr. Keith Mitchell, Member of Parliament for St. George Northwest, will be presenting his response to the 2025 budget on Monday, March 17, in a session described as the People's Parliament. Debate on the 2025 budget concluded on Tuesday without Dr. Mitchell's full contribution and a partial contribution from Dennis Cornwall, Member of Parliament for St. Patrick East, who presented the budget in his capacity as Finance Minister. The People's Parliament will be held at the Happy Hill Secondary School from 6 p.m. Dr. Mitchell has represented the constituency of St. George Northwest since the 1984 general elections. He won that constituency in every election, receiving more than 80% of the votes on each occasion. This story, the national budget has been presented and debated, outlining the government's fiscal plans and priorities for the year ahead. But what does it mean for businesses, job creation, and overall economic growth? Joining us to break it all down is Christopher Diali, a businessman and former senator who represented the business community, of course, in the Senate. Christopher Diali, good evening and thanks for joining us.
Good evening, Kenroy, and it's a pleasure to be here.
Right, so let's talk the talk. A $1.9 billion budget was presented in the Parliament last Friday. Talk to us about the potential impact on the private sector, if you will, economic stability, and the measures that businesses should be paying attention to at this time.
Well, I believe the Minister of Finance in his presentation indicated that construction sector and tourism will be the lead sectors in 2025 in respect to the budget. And if that is the case, then from a business community standpoint, the issue of economic activity should increase and businesses would have benefited, those particularly in the construction businesses. However, even though you're not in construction, once there is more money circulating in the economy, retail trade should also benefit in that sense, and services to some extent. So I think the indirect benefits if construction leads, and tourism as well, because in tourism, you know, it trickles right down to everybody that is involved or associated with it. The fiscal stability side, the fact that the government didn't announce no changes in fiscal and tax policy is a good thing for business in the sense that it keeps the environment predictable so that we could plan in a more sure way as to how we conduct ourselves in 2025. We need to pay attention, though, to the fact that with all the construction plan, and once the government could get it off in the 9 months ahead, then businesses will have to start to stock up and ramp up in terms of materials so they could supply the trade with what is required. And that is going to be a challenge for some of us because some of the materials in terms of cash flow and how it works out in terms of timing might be a challenge. So that is something we have to pay attention to as we go forward in 2025.
Which leads me to ask, does the budget sufficiently address priorities for the business community to stimulate growth?
Well, it does, because it doesn't change any fiscal policy and taxes. So as we go forward, businesses, as I said, understand the environment from that point of view and can plan appropriately. So I believe it does sufficiently address. However, I know for us in the manufacturing sector, we have had a very stubborn issue that we have going to government for, and that is the adjustment of CET on packaging material. So all of us in the manufacturing, whether it be alcohol or paint or beer or whatever it is, once you bring in packaging material to put your products in, the government charges us differently in terms of CET than other inputs into the process. We have been fighting with them with that. We have gone to GIDC. It was there before this government actually, and we have continued to fight, and that is something we are a little bit disappointed in from the manufacturing side that we didn't see addressed in the budget at all.
How confident are you, sir, that the capital projects outlined in the budget can be executed in the next 9 months, for example?
I am not very confident because we don't have a history of being good in implementation of capital projects. This budget is suggesting $500 million, just under $500 million worth of spending capital works. And for me, the real challenge is going to be the labor issue, and of course capacity from the standpoint of equipment and how we get those equipment on the island and labor on the island to effect those projects efficiently. And if the projects are going to start in April, as the Minister of Finance indicated, with schools and renovation of schools and some roads and so on, I think we're late already. And I suggested in another area that the way to deal with the labor issue on a short-term basis, to me, is eliminate the issue of work permits and bring in the people with the skills in a particular area, and let us deal with the labor shortage, because the labor shortage not only affects construction, it also affects agriculture in a significant way. And if we're talking about food security as well, and if we bring more people on the island, we have to feed them. And if we have to import all the food, it's more costly. So let us get it right, bring in people that could assist in agriculture as well as in construction, because that's the biggest issue we have in construction at this time.
All right, so we have a situation where overall deficit sits at $337.4 million. In your view, are the plans for financing sound?
Well, yes and no, I will say, because when you look at how they plan to finance it, I think it creates a little confusion from the standpoint of what the Minister of Finance indicated in an earlier press conference, that they're looking to raise $700 million to deal with issues that will come up in 2025 budget. And he did indicate at the time that they're planning to go on the East Caribbean securities market to raise treasury bills and bonds or whatever instruments they plan to raise there. And then you hear on one other side that they have a lot of reserves, and you have to hope that the reserves is in cash that they could draw down on to help finance the budget or the deficit. So you're not sure. And then even though you have the reserves, we're not sure how the reserves are held and what kind of administration is required to release it. So I am assuming that based on what they have indicated, that they already have worked out the plans to get those things to be released, and whatever debt they want to raise in order to meet the capital expend of $500 million and other stuff. Because on the recurrent side, Kelron, they don't seem to have a problem because the budget predicts a surplus, which means that normal spending on a month-to-month basis should not have a problem. It's on the capital side where they're going to have a deficiency in funds and they need to finance, hence the deficit that they have reported of $337 million.
Right, I follow. Christopher Diali, the budget revealed plans to statutarize the health sector, from the national health insurance to the 3 main hospitals. How do you imagine all this will impact the cost of health care for Grenadians?
Well, statutarization, in my view, should help with the administration of the hospital. It should get things in a more formal way in terms of the processes and reporting. But I think the biggest issue still for us in health is labor, having the nurses and the doctors to operate any facility that we have. Statutarization, in my view, doesn't address that directly. How we deal with the labor shortages in the health sector is an issue that needs to be resolved. On top of that, when you look at the cost and the management of cost in the health sector, that is another area, whether we pay the right amount of money for the tests that we receive, whether it's an x-ray, whether it's a blood test. And when you compare what happens in the national health system, we have an issue with that. You will go to a private institution and do a blood test of a certain type and they charge you $120. In the hospital, it's significantly subsidized and you may pay 60, half. And the issue is, can we continue along that line? Hence the need to bring in an NHI and how NHI will work to help relieve the cost burden for the average man who comes into the hospital with an emergency. You deal with the emergency probably at reduced cost. But after that, if the person has to stay in the hospital, they need to pay at the proper cost. And that is something NHI was supposed to address. Of course, we're trying to get NHI in play 3 years now. I don't know on the top whether statutorization of the 3 main hospitals, including the one in Karakou, is going to help with that. I think there's more fundamental issues that need to be addressed, as I indicated, as labor and how we deal with that, and then look at how we restructure so that we could manage the cost going forward. And Grenadians have to make up their mind that they will have to pay more for health care. That is the reality. And NHI, of course, is here to probably help, but we don't know how soon that will be.
We're on the home stretch to wrap this conversation, but I just have to say that it's no secret a new entity is set to take the place of the Marketing and National Importing Board. What impact would this have on the agriculture industry and Grenada's food import bill? And could this be a game changer for farmers?
Well, I'm of the view that Marketing Board is an essential organization and business that needs to stay on the radar and in the environment in Grenada for farmers to at least have an institute where they could sell their product, albeit at not the best price that they may want, but it gives them an additional place to sell their stuff, and for the average Grenadian to go into the Marketing Board and get their vegetables and their ground provisions and whatever at a reasonable cost. So I think it is something that is needed in the country. The issue that Marketing Board, in my view, have had in the past is that the current model that exists with Marketing Board cannot survive on just fresh produce buying and selling. Hence the reason that they went into commodities like sugar and rice and milk and so on. And if we are to get agriculture to a point where it becomes something that farmers need to be investing in and growing and dealing with the food security issue, the production side of the equation needs to be addressed. So farmers need to be able to produce stuff that Marketing Board could export. So if Marketing Board gets an order now for a container of, let's say, dasheen, we don't have enough to fill the container because farmers are not producing at the volumes and the levels and the pricing that could give us be competitive in export. We have a thing in Grenada with soursop going into the US, and we have a preference for our soursop. And right now, Marketing Board is supposed to be the organization that has the authority to do that in a big way. But we have a private individual doing it and benefiting. And I mean, at the end of the day, the question has to be asked, how a private entity coming into Marketing Board that is being planned in the budget is going to make these changes and do these things. Remember, a private investor who comes is going to look for profit with no apologies. So if they have to cut costs, they have to change the model, they will do that if it has to make sense for them. But is that what is really needed for us as a country, and the importance that I see Marketing Board can play for the agricultural sector?
Christopher Diali, businessman and former senator who represented the business community in the Senate, of course. We leave it here for now. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Kevin.
Coming up, Network News, Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell wants the state to take radical steps to regulate the transportation sector. Back in a moment.
Grenada, it's time to feel the adrenaline and crown national champions. The Horizon National Championship 2025 is expected to be bigger, faster, and more thrilling than ever. Mark your calendars for March 15th and 16th at the Karani James Athletic Stadium. The nation's best athletes will battle for glory in electrifying races, soaring jumps, and powerful throws. Admission, finish line $30, main stand $20, bleachers $10. Speed, strength, and heart-stopping finishes. It's all happening from 11 a.m. daily. Be there to witness future Grenadian stars. Get your tickets now at Grenadian Optical, Melville Street, St. George and Spiceland Mall, Grand Anse, and GoToFed.com.
Take charge of your financial journey by switching to an Own Your Own loan at Ariza Credit Union. Ariza's Own Your Own loan is as unique as you are because we know one size fits all does not fit you. With Own Your Own loan, you get unmatched benefits including lower interest rates, flexible repayment options, discounted loan and legal fees, and savings from hardware suppliers. Tailor-made options that put you in control. Switch now and step into the life you were always meant to live with Ariza's Own Your Own loan. Ariza Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future. Call us today at 440-1759 or visit our website at arizacu.com.
Paying is faster and easier with Flow FastPay. Use your MasterCard or Visa and pay from anywhere. Log on to discoverflow.co/fastpay and press Consumer. Select your country and enter your account number. Enter the amount to be paid and an email address. Enter your credit card information. You'll receive a payment confirmation with the transaction details, along with a receipt to your email address. It's fast, safe, and easy. Flow, keeping you connected.
How am I supposed to finish cooking like this? I wonder if climate change is behind all these water shortages. Time to think about the future. It's really time to invest in a proper water storage tank, you know. What water tanks you guys have available?
We have 450 gallons for a family of 3, 800 gallons for a family of 5, and 1,000 gallons for a family of 7. Purchasing any of these tanks will ensure that you have enough water stored.
Don't be like me and wait until you're out of water. Be smart. Be prepared. Invest in a proper water storage tank today.
Building or renovating your home or business? Why not use clean, renewable energy? Install solar panels to power your home and office and see your energy costs go down and your savings go up. Using renewable solar-powered energy protects our environment, reduces our carbon footprint, and slows the devastating impact of climate change. Republic Bank can help to finance construction and renovations that make use of renewable energy. Visit any Republic Bank branch and ask about renewable energy financing options today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you. Mobility, a common theme woven into the very fabric of human history. From ancient wanderers to modern explorers, our instinct to move, to seek something greater, and to grow has always driven us forward. Imagine a journey into pathways of boundless opportunities and endless possibilities. A collective future where the vibrant rhythms of the Caribbean, rich culture, and welcoming community create unforgettable experiences. Beyond citizenship by investment, we believe in our collective investment of time, resources, and energy that fosters innovation, creates jobs, and enriches lives, driving the growth of an entire nation. The Investment Migration Agency Grenada boasts over a decade of exceptional service and remains committed to guiding you toward global mobility and economic freedom through investment. Your journey becomes our shared story of progress and prosperity. This is an invitation to be part of something greater, something enduring. Begin your journey at imagrenada.gd. IMA Grenada. Unlock the possibilities.
Oh, it happens to all of us. Low on cash and in need of money right away. Play Instacash Monday to Sunday and there are no draws.
So what you're saying? No numbers to choose from?
Nope.
And no draw sessions to wait on?
Nope. And we can play it anytime and any day. Yep. Including Sundays. Instacash. Ask for it by name and choose from a wide variety of games as low as $2 and win instantly. It is fast, it is easy to play, and you win cash right away. Must be 18 years or older to play. NLA, making your dreams come true.
Grenada, the moment you've been waiting for has arrived. The Spice Mass Corporation presents The Unveiling, where elegance meets excitement in a night of beauty, artistry, and anticipation. On March 14th at 8 p.m., the Trade Center Annex transforms into a spectacle of grace and grandeur as 7 remarkable contestants are revealed, each vying for the coveted title of National Carnival Queen 2025. Indulge in an evening of live music, captivating performances, and pure enchantment. Dress to impress. Formal, fiery, bold, fearless. Enjoy complimentary wine on arrival as you immerse yourself in the magic. Tickets are $100, food inclusive. Available now at Go to Fet, Grenadian Optical, Town and Grand Anne's, and Gittins Pharmacy, Grand Anne's. The Unveiling, March 14th at 8 p.m. A night of elegance, a moment in history. Will you be there?
Tracksuit, water bottle, sneakers. It's time. Let's get ready to join us on the road this year for Quad Bank's annual Pump It Up Family Fun Walk. Tell your family and friends, and let's get moving towards a healthier lifestyle. Carry a coup. Come out in your numbers on Sunday, April 6th from 4 p.m. as we pump it up from Alexis Food Store's car park to the Hillsborough Tennis Court. On Sunday, May 4th, the action is on the mainland. We're hitting the road at 4 p.m. from Monrouge Playing Field to the Kirani James Athletic Stadium. Registration ends on May 2nd or while stocks last. So get your packages today. Individual packages cost $20. For groups of 3 or more, packages cost $15 each. Proceeds go towards the Princess Royal Hospital in Carriacou. Visit our website for more details. See you on the road for Welcome Home.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
Building or renovating your home or business? Why not use clean, renewable energy? Install solar panels to power your home and office and see your energy costs go down and your savings go up. Using renewable solar-powered energy protects our environment, reduces our carbon footprint, and slows the devastating impact of climate change. Republic Bank can help to finance construction and renovations that make use of renewable energy. Visit any Republic Bank branch and ask about renewable energy financing options today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Rebecca Television Center Grenada's contingency fund at the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank contained deposits totaling $44,911,950.12 as of December 31, 2024. That is according to the first contingency fund report, which was recently laid in the House of Representatives and will be laid in the Senate on March 18. The fund was established pursuant to SRO 42 of 2015, National Transformation Fund Regulations, amended in 2023 to stipulate that 10% of CBI inflows to the National Transformation Fund shall be directed to the contingency fund. According to the report, the first deposit was made in July 2023, and subsequent deposits were made based on the monthly receipts of the NTF. A total total of 4 deposits has been made. The report shows interest deposits amounting to $826,026.12. The contingency fund was established to provide financial resources to reduce budget expenditure, arrears, restructure, pay or repurchase debt, and provide financial resources for relief, recovery, and reconstruction after a natural disaster. Well, Member of Parliament for St. Mark, Dr. Clarice Modeste-Cohen, has placed her appreciation to the Cuban government on record. Dr. Modeste-Cohen, a Cuban-trained doctor who during the last administration served as health minister, told the Parliament that she is most appreciative for the contribution of the Cuban government to Grenada's healthcare system.
P.T. Martinique. Mr. Speaker, Cuba has always been supportive to the Grenadian people. They have always been a friend to us, and they have assisted us in critical moments, Mr. Speaker, as health and in other areas. And I want to place on record my unwavering high esteem for the Cuban leadership and the people of Cuba, Mr. Speaker. They have developed our human resources tremendously.
Her appreciation to the government and people of Cuba comes at a time when regional leaders have openly rejected the U.S. administration's demand for governments to stop benefiting from Cuban medical missions, which it described as forced labor, or face the imposition of visa restrictions. The Prime Ministers of Barbados and St. Vincent and the Grenadines have openly said they are willing to give up their U.S. visa. Grenada's Foreign Affairs Minister Joseph Andel recently told the Parliament that Grenada not only has a legal, moral and ethical obligation to stand by the people of Cuba, but also should avoid being opportunistic or transactional relative to the relations between both countries. This story to report Grenada's cocoa sector and aspects of agro-processing, especially the production of cocoa balls, are poised for growth and increased quality following a 3-day workshop organized by the Ministry of Agriculture in collaboration with the Food and Agriculture Organization. Christina John reports.
The 3-day workshop at the T.A. Marjo Community College Lecture Room in Maribor St. Andrew focused on cocoa, post-harvest processing and quality management. It also included a field visit to Belmont Estate. Sarah Barrett, cocoa scientist and facilitator for the 3-day exercise, covered topics such as soil health, field pod management and seed extraction, fermentation vessels and others.
It's a gateway plant for a lot of very philosophical learning and being in the space. Yes, we learn a lot about the process from ground up, but we also need to recognize the lessons that cacao as a plant in this space with everything else is teaching us, okay? As she rightfully pointed out, the brain food, it's a whole system food. It's a very spiritual food, okay? It's not just about the body, it's also about the mind. And we spoke about that during classes. The mindset is what makes the difference in all of this. You are prepared to work with this plant and this system in a particular way. You are going to enjoy the fruit and the taste of that communion.
Annie DeRochers, plant production and protection specialist at the Food and Agricultural Organization's Sub-Regional Office for the Caribbean, expressed gratitude to all participants for taking the time to develop their capacities.
We're here to learn from each other, right? It's not only a training of sharing our knowledge from the experts and the facilitators, but we're here to learn from you what you're doing at your farm and how we can exchange these experiences. And basically the whole point of these trainings, all these interventions that we've had in the different countries and in the different trainings we had, is to build the awareness of the quality, you know, from the soil to the tree, the production, all the way through the end product. So goal is really to build the awareness of the quality throughout and to build the profile of the specialty cocoa sector for the Caribbean.
The final day of the training was held at the Belmont Estate, where the participants got an understanding of how to maintain quality from the field to the factory. Managing Director of the Belmont Estate, Shadell Nayak Compton.
I'm really excited and I'm really encouraged by the feedback that I'm hearing here today. The level of interest, the satisfaction, the innovation I'm hearing, the new ideas, it's so exciting and such a positive thing for Grenada's cocoa industry. I mean, we will only succeed if we collaborate as farmers, processors, producers of end products. We all have to collaborate and be on the same wavelength to ensure that we are doing things to the highest level of excellence and standards, because this is what is going to give us our customer satisfaction. This is what will develop our brand as a successful Grenada brand, and of course for our sustainable development.
This workshop was part of the FAO's project strengthening the foundations for a specialty cocoa sector in the Caribbean. It sought to empower cocoa farmers, processors, and industry stakeholders with the knowledge and skills needed to build a robust specialty cocoa industry by addressing production challenges, improving post-harvest practices, and enhancing the awareness of quality produce through sensory analysis techniques for improved access to premium markets. Christina John, GBN News.
Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell believes radical steps will have to be taken by the state to regulate the transportation sector because the current transportation policy cannot continue. Addressing the issue during his contribution to the 2025 budget debate, he said Grenada may already be a dumping ground for used vehicles and suggested that they may further reduce the age of imported used vehicles.
Continue with the current transportation policy in Grenada. It is not sustainable. It has already led to significant deterioration of the roadways. We've got significant gridlock, traffic everywhere you go. We have a lot of motor vehicle accidents, and we will end up as a dumping ground, if we're not already that, for fossil fuel vehicles that no longer has any utility to other persons, and they're dumping it here. So, Mr. Speaker, that's one aspect of the policy discussion. So I welcome you sitting on a committee, and I'm happy to invite the former President General to talk about this issue because it has to be addressed. We're either going to have to say 1 vehicle per household, or you can't import vehicles 5 years and under, or maybe even 3 years and under.
SRO 43 of 2020, which went into effect on January 31, 2021, placed a ban on the importation of vehicles older than 10 years. The imposition of the ban on aged vehicles is part of government's efforts to protect the environment and lower the country's carbon emissions. The ban is also intended to reduce the burden on the Grenada Solid Waste Management Authority to dispose of and manage the growing number of derelict vehicles abandoned alongside public roadways or transported to the landfill. After the break, Grenada officially launches the OECS Skills and Innovation Project. Back in a while.
In a world driven by digital innovation, our future is defined by connectivity and communication, shaping how we learn, work, and interact. But what safeguards our digital rights? The Electronic Communications or EC Bill will. The EC Bill ensures rights such as improved quality of service, data privacy and security, support for universal service and access, and complaint resolution are protected, with a tribunal to resolve disputes. This is consumer protection. The EC Bill also ensures a competitive environment for electronic communications companies to enter the market. There are many other benefits of the EC Bill. ECTEL is paving the way for a fair, secure, and inclusive digital society for our contracting states.
ECTEL and the NTRCs, digitally transforming our space together.
Grenada is indeed beautiful and worth exploring. We firmly believe that you should be allowed to do so. Why not explore Grenada with James Services Corp Off-Road Tours? Whether you decide to explore Grenada with your family, spouse, or large group of friends, we are ready to welcome you. Our tours are guaranteed to leave you with wonderful memories of Grenada if you are visiting and excitement if you live here. Book a tour with us now by visiting our website www.jamessvcs.com. Call 1473-442-3769 or email info@jamessvcs.com. James Services Corp Off-Road Tours.
I am Dennis James Williams, owner and director of James Services Corp. Looking forward to welcoming you to the beautiful island of Union to explore with James Services Corp Off-Road Tours. See you soon.
Explore our beautiful island of Grenada from an angle that is unique and off-road, but equally fun. We are 100% family-friendly tours.
Hi, I want $10 on Playway, $20 backup on Pick 3, and cash for each, please. Okay, are you adding multi-X to your bet? Yes, multi-X, all of them. Smart. Best value bet. Backup and multi-X. You cannot go wrong. Don't matter the bet, multi-X all of the daily games.
With multi-X added, your winnings can be multiplied 3 times, 5 times, even 7 times. So make it a rule. Add multi-X to all your Playway, daily Pick 3, and daily cash for bets every day and for every drop, and watch your money grow. Available at stores and online.
You heard it here. Multiply your winnings daily. Must be 18 or older to play. NLA, making your dreams come true.
Shop with confidence at Quartz. Get the lowest prices guaranteed. Get appliances, furniture, electronics, and so much more. If you find a lower price on any other products elsewhere, we'll match the price. Plus, we'll give you back 110% of the difference. Shop with confidence only at Quartz. Bringing value home. Special conditions apply.
Fully 1 week. Nah. Telling you. You them boss dragon. You see that? About 10 now, them man make hard on them man. Me a 38 man. But you are 92. Yeah. You need the number 1 run man. That is it. No what? Nice. Yeah. Number 1. Ah yeah, me too.
Whether sipped neat, mixed into a classic cocktail, or savored on the rocks, our rum delivers a taste that captivates and satisfies. Choose greatness. Choose Classcoat, the number 1 rum. Produced by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
Level of convenience and comfort awaits you when you shop at Rise and Shine Supermarket and Hardware Supplies, Griffin Lane, Grenville. Convenient, because we are open Sunday to Sunday. We're even at your service on public holidays. Comfort, because we are easily accessible to the physically challenged. Free Wi-Fi is available while you shop, and bags come at no charge. Everyday low prices and excellent customer care. Adequate parking available. We supply everything you can possibly think of. Family and home supplies, fresh meat, vegetables, and personal care products. All brands of cooking gas at affordable prices. You can send in your order, have it pulled, or pick up express.
ACB Speed Start, Manage, Expand. Don't call me small. I'm dreaming big. I'm gonna have it all. ACB Speed Start, Manage, Expand. They came on all my competition, got the whole bag's attention. ACB, best financial solution. My business has a good reputation.
Ready for success? Call us at 444-4919 or visit us at acbonline.com to learn more. Start, manage, expand your business today.
This is GBN. We've got the means, the power, and the medium. This segment is brought to you by Flow.
Paying is faster and easier with Flow FastPay. Use your MasterCard or Visa and pay from anywhere. Log on to discoverflow.co/fastpay and press Consumer. Select your country and enter your account number. Enter the amount to be paid and an email address. Enter your credit card information. You'll receive a payment confirmation with the transaction details, along with a receipt to your email address. It's fast, safe, and easy. Flow, keeping you connected.
Regional governments are using the OECS Skills and Innovation Project, SKIP, to share knowledge and skills with young people. Christina John tells us more.
In an effort to provide the knowledge and skills that Caribbean youth need to thrive in the 21st century, the OECS Commission, through its Education Development Management Unit, the EDMU, in collaboration with the Ministry of Education, Sustainable Development, Innovation, Science, Technology, and Vocational Training of St. Lucia and the Ministry of Education in Grenada, has conceptualized the OECS Skills and Innovation Project, SKIP. The OECS Skills and Innovation Project is a regional collaboration and is a World Bank-funded U.S. $6 million grant and executed by the OECS Commission. The participating countries, Grenada and St. Lucia, will utilize individual loans of U.S. $15 million to implement the project in their respective countries. SKIP seeks to strengthen post-secondary education frameworks and build a future-ready workforce for OECS member states and beyond. The Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Education is Elvis Moraine.
Ladies and gentlemen, the truth is, if we are serious about transforming our education system, about preparing our young people for real opportunities in the world of work, then we must start with a clear vision as to what success looks like for us. And what does success look like? Suffice to say, it looks like Grenadians learning skills, using them, building career, starting businesses, and shaping our nation's future.
Senior economist, Education Global Practice for Latin America and the Caribbean is Veronica Levin.
The OECS Skills and Innovation Project is more than just an investment in education. It is an investment in people, in opportunity, and in the future of Grenada and the Eastern Caribbean. At its core, the project is about equipping young people with the transversal skills that they need no matter what their career ambition is. Skills like communication, problem solving, and adaptability. It is also about fostering advanced skills that are demanded by Grenada's private sector, as well as global and regional labor markets. Finally, it is about building innovation ecosystems that will allow Grenada and other Eastern Caribbean countries to diversify their economies and create new opportunities in sectors such as renewable energy, smart and sustainable tourism, blue economy, health sciences, and creative industries.
Levin said what makes this project stand out from among the rest is its regional focus. The economist said they expect the results of this project to be profound and far-reaching.
What makes this initiative truly special is its regional focus. By collaborating with other OECS countries, Grenada can achieve far more than it could alone. To this end, the project will develop regional public goods, such as shared learning standards and assessments, a regional virtual campus, and an interoperable architecture for post-secondary education information systems. This regional approach also ensures that resources are used efficiently and that economies of scale are leveraged to create opportunities for students and educators across all OECS countries.
Christina John, GBN News.
Sports news coming up. Stay close.
When you need your prescription filled or you require non-prescribed medication, supplements, or all your personal needs, visit Gittins Healthcare at locations on Wall Street, Grand Anse, Victoria Street, Grenville, and Central Deputy Street, Wharf. Gittins Healthcare aims to provide an exceptional personalized pharmacy experience. Additionally, children under 5 and adults 55 years and over will enjoy 10% discount on purchases of $20 and over on prescription medication. Stop settling for less. Visit Gittins Healthcare, where your health is our priority.
What if you had a choice? A choice of joining a line or a choice of making your purchases online? What would you choose? While you ponder on that, the National Lotteries Authority has provided another purchasing option. All their games are now available online. Yes, Grenadians, from wherever you are, purchase your favorite daily and jackpot type games using any electronic device. Register on the NLA's website at www.nla.gd. Top up your account and enjoy online lottery gaming at your convenience. We're taking shopping comfort up, several notches. But the choice is yours. Join a line or buy online. NLA, make your dreams come true.
Sporting fans, good evening. 6 matches are set for this weekend in the Grenada Cricket Association NLA Clubs T20 competition. The tournament makes a return to the local calendar after a near 5-year break, with 11 teams playing out of 2 zones. Matches in Zone A will see Lamode Tigers playing Union from 10 a.m. at Progress Park, while Power Hitters and Beauregard will square off at 2 p.m. That game will be played at Lasages. Sunday will feature another double-header inside Progress Park. The day will start with Redmud playing Sixers from 10 p.m. That's 10 a.m. Then from 2 p.m. Power Hitters will clash with Tigers playing out of Zone B. Inside Lasages, police will look to keep upsetters in control. Game time 10 a.m. The 2 p.m. matchup will feature Idlers locking horns with Idlers locking horns at the same venue. President of the GCA, Norman Gilbert, says the anticipation is set for a great first round of matches.
We believe that it's necessary for us to re-engage in this national T20 tournament. Of course, we see what's happening globally in terms of cricket and where cricket is going with the shorter formats, and there are many players around the world who are not just playing cricket but taking care of their families because of the success of T20 cricket and the career that can be built surrounding their involvement in T20 cricket. Whilst we want to provide an opportunity for players to advance, we also recognize that there are also persons who are not necessarily in playing state anymore competitively, but will love to maintain their fitness, their physique, and so the tournament would attract not only young players, but also attract players who are at the senior level and are just looking for a good opportunity to play very keenly contested cricket and to remain fit.
According to Gilbert, organizers are expecting mutual respect between players and officials.
And so to the teams who are here, I just want to implore that you make the best of the opportunities. Remember that we are players. There is roles and responsibilities for players, and there is roles and responsibilities for umpires and match officials. And I'm saying that because obviously I want to ensure that players respect the decisions of the match officials, and that cricket, as you know, is a gentleman's sport, and we expect that you are going to behave as gentlemen, and to ensure that there is no discrepancies during the tournament. We believe that we have quality officials that can officiate the matches, and we are very thankful for their commitment and the support.
Meanwhile, with only hours left before the runoff of Horizon National Champs, officials have been dotting the I's and crossing their T's.
We've already put quite a bit of mechanisms in place to ensure that we have games of extremely high quality. When I speak of that, our registration process is already complete. A matter of fact, the last time I checked, we had some over 870 athletes registered for the two-day events. We've already met with our coaches at our technical meeting, and we've ironed out all the issues that we know will sometimes plague games or interfere with what we do, and to make sure that we're all on the same page, to make sure that coaches are aware as to the expectations of them, their athletes, on the given day. We begin the games at 10, so therefore athletes would start arriving as early as 7:30, because we believe that we need to have a prompt start when we look at the number of athletes that we have registered over the game, over the two-day period. Matter of fact, you also want to understand and appreciate that while yes, it is a national championships, and we don't have a junior senior championship, so we're catering for athletes from the under-9 category as far up as you will get, and they themselves have formed a great part of the athletes participating on that day.
Meet Director Jonald Mitchell talking there. Mitchell, who also serves as the second Vice President of Grenada Athletic Association, said Day 2 will be just as exciting as the first day.
These games have significant implications for us as a national federation, in the sense that it is a marquee event of the federation where athletes are selected for regional and international events. A matter of fact, one of the very first event that will see selection coming from is our Carifta Games that will be held later down in April. So quite a bit of our junior athletes or under 20 athletes and under 17 athletes, they are vying for Carifta selection. And one of the things we've highlighted, in order for you to be selected on the Carifta team, one, participation, it must be a must that you participate in our mini meets over the time frame that we've had, and our national champs. So oftentimes you would hear people competing other games other than GEA organized events, and they say, well, this young man or young lady, they've given some amazing times and distances, and yet for all we've not considered them for selection. But our coaches have the full understanding for selection to happen. These athletes must participate in our national champs. This is the event where selection is guaranteed.
We continue with what is expected to be a busy weekend in the Super League. 3 matches are down on the card tomorrow. Southern Elites will look to shine bright over Sparklers. Titan will clash in Saturday's second game against Spotlight, while the third game will feature Spotlight 2. Looking at games from last evening, Tornadoes SC came away with a 67-46 victory over Titan. Curtis Samuel and Javon Julian scored 19 and 12 points respectively. Game 2 last evening saw Sparklers edging past Tornadoes JP 60-58. That is the sports news for now. Mental health issues in the Caribbean are at a critical level, according to the region's leading health facility, the Caribbean Public Health Agency, CARPHA. Speaking at CARPHA's 69th research conference on the theme Mental Health, the Hidden Pandemic, Barbados' Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Kenneth George, said Barbados and other countries in the region have been seeing an uptick in the number of mental health cases. The rest of the details in this TTT report.
According
According to Barbados' Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Kenneth George, Barbados and other countries in the region have been seeing an uptick in the number of mental health cases.
Mental health issues in the Caribbean have reached a critical level. Across the region, there have been notable rises in persons experiencing mental health conditions, especially among young people, with many individuals experiencing heightened levels of anxiety, depression, and stress.
Dr. George was speaking at the Caribbean Public Health Agency's media briefing for its 69th research conference. He said it is important that regional bodies expand their healthcare services.
In Barbados, for example, there has been a 100% increase in the number of individuals seeking psychological and mental health services during and after the COVID-19 pandemic. This surge is reflective of a broader regional trend, where the impact of the pandemic has led to significant rises in mental health conditions.
Meanwhile, CARFA's Executive Director, Dr. Lisa Endar, said the region's mental health issues should be of concern to all regional healthcare professionals.
Mental health is a global public health issue. It includes not only the traditional focus on individual therapy interactions, but also emerging frameworks designed to address mental health at the population health level. Health is shaped by a plethora of determinants: gender, genetics, socioeconomic status, education, physical environment, social support and networks, access to health services, and now crime and violence.
More than 170 research papers have been accepted to be included at this year's CARFA Research Conference, which will be held from May 7th to 9th in Barbados. Terry-Ann Brown-Campbell, TTT News.
55 years after the Nixon administration created the Environmental Protection Agency, the Donald Trump administration is changing the agency's priorities. It's a move critics say will worsen the environment for all Americans.
In 1970, Republican President Richard Nixon created the Environmental Protection Agency, or EPA, to protect the public from all sorts of pollution.
We must act, and act decisively. It is literally now or never.
55 years later, Republican President Donald Trump's administration says the EPA is a job killer, and it's time to wipe out those protections, especially ones set up during Joe Biden's administration.
Our actions will lower the cost of living by making it more affordable to purchase a car, heat your home, and operate a business. Jobs will be created, especially in the U.S. auto industry, and our nation will become stronger for it.
The administration also blames Biden's so-called Green New Deal for creating unpredictability for business owners. A point echoed by one Republican senator who supports the rollbacks.
I'm the daughter of a small family farmer in Iowa. He is a small business owner, and much like every Iowan out there, we're tired of going through extraordinary changes that affects daily lives and businesses.
What the administration has done is to send the message that we don't really care about clean air and water. We don't care about people's health. We don't care about communities, our farmers, our ranchers that are experiencing environmental harm. We don't care about that. What we care about is profits for polluting corporations.
Environmental groups agree. The EPA rollback spells disaster.
So if you live near a power plant, if you live near a major highway, if you live near an industrial facility, if you live near a port or just a place where trucks are moving in and out, you may immediately see a change in the air quality around that spot.
They cannot simply
rescind all of these regulations. Those regulations were all put forward on the basis of fact, of scientific evidence.
Environmental groups say they're ready to sue to keep the EPA's original mandate intact. But the Trump administration has already shown it's willing to ignore the rule of law to achieve its goals, setting up an almost inevitable legal fight over the health of the nation. Rosalind Jordan, Al Jazeera, Washington.
A reminder of the headlines in a moment. A reminder of the headlines. Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell wants all outstanding constituency allowances, and he's willing to take the fight to the court. Dr. Keith Mitchell to present his response to the 2025 budget on Monday in a session described as the People's Parliament. A businessman who's a former senator analyzes government's fiscal plans and priorities for the year ahead. Also in the news, regionally, mental health in the Caribbean reported to be at critical levels. Internationally, environmental protections in the United States being rolled back. Plus, in the sports news, a riser national champs to run off from 10 a.m. on Saturday, while GCA NLA clubs T20 to bowl off tomorrow with 6 matches across the island. I'm Kenroy, Baptiste. It's the weekend. Please be safe. A lot is happening. We will touch base with you on Monday. Stacey Blake will be in. Have a beautiful night.